Good morning, YouTube. It is Monday, May 11th, I think. Yep, Monday, May 11th. About 11:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Hope y'all are doing well. I'm smoking my dubbed dwarf pipe from Brian Doran. And Big and Burly, of course, because what else? I'm trying to save what I've got left of that Burly Flake number 3, that generous gift from my Secret Santa and from Rinky Dink. I think I've got about 3.5 tins left out of the 9 that I started with. I went through that first chunk real quick. What's strange is I haven't been smoking Bold Kentucky at all. I used to smoke almost nothing but that, but this Big and Burly, I don't, for whatever reason, I could be a codger if that was one of the codger blends. I don't think it technically is a codger blend because it doesn't come in a pouch or anything, but I mean, it's cheap. It's readily available in bulk. It's Burley based. It's codger blend adjacent. So that's my codger blend, Big and Burley. Having some coffee. Pretty good stuff. Hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. We did not make it up to see, we being my brother and I, we didn't make it up to see our parents, but we're going up, I think, Memorial Day weekend. Gonna spend the night and stuff and just hang out with them for a little while. So kind of split Mother's Day and Father's Day and just have a nice little visit. So it's just it's a little bit with the dogs with the dog that we have and the dogs that they have, plus the drive and the different stuff going on. It's a little bit of a hassle. It's a lot of bit of a hassle. But so we generally try, when holidays fall close to each other, we try and kind of split the difference. But we're going to get up there and see him. Sorry, I don't have a lot to talk about today. I just wanted to get on here and say hello. It had been a little bit of time since I last made a video. I think about a week, maybe a little more. And before that, it had been a few weeks. So I just wanted to check in, see how everybody's doing. I watched Jess last night, Jess piping with that Suge Derringer pipe. That's neat. I like that a lot. That's a really cool pipe. Out of my budget, I think, based on the little bit I saw when I did a couple of Google searches, but super neat pipe. And if anybody is watching my videos that has not seen his, he has stated he absolutely wants to add another one to his rotation. So if you happen to have a Tsuge Derringer pipe that you want to get rid of, reach out to Jess, because he seems like he really wants another one. So in my very rare adventures in trying new tobaccos, I attempted Sam Gowith's Chocolate Flake. Nope, not for me. I don't know what it is about anything that has a topping. I am of the impression that it's because of how fast that I smoke. Because I do smoke faster than you should. But even me consciously trying to slow down the two bowls, the two attempts that I made at that tobacco, and letting it dry out for like open 10, something like 36 hours the second time. It just roasted my tongue. I think it is partially how fast I smoke, but I also think that whatever the chemical compound of my taste buds just does not agree with Black Cavendish. Which is a shame, because there's a lot of really great smelling tobaccos that I'm sure taste great if you can get past the pain. When I smoked the first time, when I smoked pipes the first time, in like 2010, 2009, whatever it was, I liked aromatics. I smoked, what was that called? Trout Stream. I smoked Trout Stream a lot. And Hobbit's Weed. Hobbit's Weed was real. The original Hobbit's Weed by Tewksbury and Company. Oh man, if you never got a chance to try that, and you even remotely like a cherry / chocolate blend, I don't know if I'd like it now because of the way my tongue reacts, but golly, that was some good stuff. Old Tewksbury and Company. It was not cheap though. Yeah, I smoked mainly Trout Stream for quite some time. And I mean, that's an aromatic, but I don't know. For whatever reason, I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it, Captain. Although I'm still, I say that, but when I started smoking this time around, one of the first 10s I got was Colt Blood Red Moon. And I did like that one, and I smoked the whole 10. Maybe that's the one aromatic I can still tolerate. Who knows? You don't have enough time, and in my case, enough money, or enough refined taste buds to test every tobacco in the world. So, I have found at least 4 that I currently have in my possession that I absolutely love. So, you can't beat that. I mean, I've got, and this is just what I have. There are others that I know that I like, but what I have is Big and Burley, Bold Kentucky, Cobblestone Kentucky Plug, and Burley Flake number 3. I might be a Burley fan. Maybe. And that's okay. I wanted to be a Burley fan the first time I smoked pipes. I remember getting a 10 of Solani aged Burley Flake way back then, hoping I would really like it, because I used to watch Matches all the time back then, and I wanted to be a Burley fan like Matches. Oh, matches 860. I can't do it at all like he does. I still go back and watch his videos sometimes. Although I haven't in a few weeks. I wonder if they're still up. I hope they are. I remember one of his family members got on there and said they were going to leave him up. Old matches. I miss Joe Case too. Old Joe. Smoky Joe, Tennessee is what he started out as. And Boontar. Crossroads Greg I see every now and then, and Frank, Nashville Frank. I see them occasionally, and I saw that Aristocob started popping back up here and there. Oh, Scott from Aristocob. That was the first site I tried to go to when I got back into smoking, was aristocob.com. Only to find out it was decommissioned. Because I knew I wanted a corncob pipe, because for a long time, that's all I smoked was corncobs. I still have a bunch of them, still smoke them occasionally. I've just got to the point where I can somewhat reliably pack a briar pipe now, so I always used to think it was the corncob pipe itself that made the packing easier. Which is why I kind of swore by cobs for so long, but turns out, like with pretty much everything in life, is just practice. But I will say, in my opinion, a corncob pipe is more forgiving for an inconsistent pack. And I still like my cobs, especially that. I swear one day I'm going to have somebody make a briar equivalent of the Diplomat apple is what it is from Missouri Meerschaum. I love their apple. The bent version, the slightly, oh man. The featured apple is the one that I got. That was the first one. And I have smoked the dickens out of that thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody I might offend with my... It's a very few pipes that I try and keep in like any sort of pristine condition. My pipes are working pipes. I try and keep the Moretti in pretty decent shape. I try and keep my Phil Rivara birthday pipe in pretty decent shape. I try and keep that Viking in pretty, just because it's so fancy looking. But the rest of them, well, I have found that with this one, for instance, you see all the black crap. Just the lightest touch with some sandpaper just takes all that right off. So now you wouldn't, of course, necessarily want to do that with a finished pipe, but I don't think this one had a stain or anything on it. This was just natural wood color, and then it's darkened so much over time. Because I've smoked it so much. I love this pipe. If you don't have a Brian Doran pipe and you're in the market for a pipe, a straight pipe, he mostly does straight pipes. If you're in the market for a pipe, you gotta get a Brian Doran pipe. Oh, they're so good. And they're so reasonably priced. And he tries his best not to raise his prices, even when it means he takes less profit. Because like the cost of everything going up and all that right now, he's taking less profit because he's trying not to raise his prices. You really, really you owe it to yourself to get yourself a Brian Doran pipe. They're excellent. And I'm not taking anything away from any of the other pipes that I have. My Phil Rivara pipe is a work of art, obviously. The Moretti pipe I got, I like all... I like 95% of the pipes that I have. And to be fair, the only reason I don't like a couple of them is simply because of their aesthetics. Not necessarily because of the way they smoke. All of my pipes that I have smoke very well. I also always thought I wanted to be a curved pipe guy. I wanted to be an Paul guy. Turns out, as fast as I smoke, which if anybody watched Tunnel Takes videos before they were taken down, he kind of went over in one of his videos the little bit of the scientifics, I guess, or whatever, of, you know, just how the moisture builds up in there and all that. And it's a lot easier because of how much moisture I produce, because I smoke too fast. It's a lot easier to keep it dry and cool and nice smoke with a straight pipe. So I have gone for the straight pipes or the slightly bent pipes a lot more than I thought I would. Like that Peterson pub pipe that I got. I love that pipe, don't get me wrong, I love it. But I have to take it apart and pipe cleaner it like 3, 4, 5 times every time I have a bowl. Because even with that system on there that the pub pipes have, it gets too much moisture built up. So I like the straighter pipes because I can just stick a pipe cleaner straight through and be done. The pub pipe is a, you know, a press fit or army mount or whatever they call it, so I can take that apart while it's hot. That doesn't matter. This pipe, I wouldn't want to take it apart while it's hot, so I'm glad that I can just get a cleaner all the way through it. If you go back, Jason Dagner has an old video on his account, How I Smoke a Pipe. And first of all, I think he's got some really good tips in that video. So if you have questions or just are interested, I would highly recommend watching it. It's from several years ago, but he does a really good job breaking it down. But in that video, he specifically says, I like my smoke a little hot. I'm a relighter, and that's okay. And I think that's what I am too. I think that's what it is. I like bigger clouds of smoke. I don't like the little wispy. Probably comes from my cigar days. I have rambled about nothing for almost 20 minutes now. So I am going to stop this video before I waste everybody's time even more than I already have. I hope everybody has an excellent week coming up. I hope you had a great Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. The soon-to-bes and the hopefuls and the was and the are and the pet mothers and the mother effers and everybody. Just happy Mother's Day. I hope you had a great day. I hope you have a good week coming up. And yeah, have a great rest of your Monday. We'll talk at you next time.